Fallout 4, a game that is best described as Skyrim with guns. It's a game that features things like exploring the wasteland that is the Commonwealth, smack-talking synths.
Are you here for the synth?
I'm here to pick up an order. 2 large pepperoni and a calzone. Name is fuck you.
Intense acid trips, and finding your son. Spoilers. Fallout 4 is the type of game that you can get lost for hours, whether that be completing quests, stumbling upon random NPCs talking about Psycho, doing Psycho, or even... The amount of content available in this one game makes it a must-play experience. At the beginning of the game, you have the ability to fully customize your character. Make him look fat, make him look beefy, make him look like Hulk Hogan? What the fuck is that? You can even fully customize your spouse. No, honey, I think getting filler in your lips really brought out your eyes. You also have the ability to customize things like your character name. That way you're not just... Nate. And maybe something a bit cooler like
Jack Marius Tack Theratrix.
Hingle McCringleberry. Fudge.
Just note, there are some names in the game that your robot butler, Codsworth, can say, so if you get some warm fuzzy feeling to have a Matt Berry impressionist acknowledge you by name, then also at the start of the game you have to play around with your special abilities and perks, similar to what you would find in other Fallout games. Personally, I like to build my character special around perception for improved VATS, charisma so I can be a smooth talking vault dweller that you don't want to frag at first sight, and luck because who doesn't want a bit of luck in a wasteland filled with brutal killers, am I right? Fallout 4 also comes with a brand new settlement system, one that allows the player to build settlements in the Commonwealth and develop sustainable societies by improving defenses, building farms, or developing trade between settlements. And when I say sustainable, I actually mean...
I've gotten word about a settlement that's being threatened by raiders.
Fuck! As far as stories go, I'd say Fallout 4 is... fine. It's basically Fallout 3's story of a son trying to find his father, but plot twist, in Fallout 4, it's a story of a father trying to find his son, or... Father? I don't like calling you father. Here's the breakdown. Apparently after the sole survivor and their family were put into cryogenic sleep and woken up by bald, their wife being killed and son being taken, a lot of time had passed. See, the game initially takes place in the year 2077, but by the time the bombs fell and the sole survivor wakes back up, it's the year 2287. So now your son, who was just a baby at the time of entering the vault, is now all grown up and the supreme overlord of a faction that everyone hates and doesn't trust.
Now just to answer me one simple question. Are you human? Because I will not serve a synth.
No, I'm Jangles, the moon monkey.
That's just what a synth would do.
Speaking of factions, there are 4 major factions in Fallout 4. Which faction should you join? It's not the Institute. And before any of you rush to your keyboards to complain, yes, I did make this video before, but if Bethesda gets to re-release Skyrim on every console generation for profit, then I get to re-release a video I made for profit. Suck it, Todd Howard. Of the 4 factions, one of them I think is truly superior than the others. For instance, you have factions like the Minutemen, the first and most neutral faction the player interacts with. The Minutemen serve as the Commonwealth's militia in the introduction to the game's settlement mechanic, allowing the player to create various settlements throughout the wasteland and develop nearly self-sufficient communities for settlers in the Commonwealth to live in. If you're going for that whole good guy shtick, then I do recommend...
Another settlement just sent word that they need our help. I'll mark it on your map. Go find out what they need.
Okay, I mean, I was just there, but...
Those super mutants won't be bothering you again.
As I was saying, if you're attempting to go with the whole good guy thing, then I would recommend the Minutemen, because other than the Institute, they don't really ruffle any feathers, allowing the player to still interact with the Brotherhood of Steel and the Railroad. You also get access to a fort that seems to fill up faster than a Taylor Swift concert, and cannons, which are helpful in situation. You also get to become the general rather quickly, which gets you a pretty sweet outfit, so that's neat. The downside is they come with Preston Garvey, who's just basically the morality police the entire time. Like, oh, I can't give this aging woman drugs in order for her to use her psychic abilities to help me find my son? Get bent. Also Ronnie Shaw, who's basically just Bernie from Gears of War, but more annoying. But maybe you don't want to join the Minutemen because you hate style. So instead, why not join the Railroad? A group that's fixated on liberating synths from the Institute and game, giving them the ability to live fruitful lives in a wasteland designed to bring out the absolute worst in people. They mean well, but offer no significant value to the Commonwealth, as their main focus is saving machines that may or may not turn into running a group of bandits that terrorize the wasteland, versus helping people of the Commonwealth. And for a faction that requires itself to be hidden, they do a terrible job, because they literally have a path right to their doorstep. Literally. Other minuses are the fact that none of the people in the railroad have any sense of style, and that the potential companion Deacon is basically a faceless man, except he's just super creepy. I guess the only thing of significance they offer is making Curie hot, and that's about it. Other than that, but maybe you aren't interested in saving synths, but instead enslaving them. So maybe you look towards, I don't know, say, the Institute.
No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
The Institute is great if you want to bore yourself to death over some guy talking about how he made synthetic gorillas, nerd. Also, don't forget, if you get far enough in the quest line, you can possibly take over the Institute and maintain the army of Terminators, or maybe tell yourself you can change the Institute's shitty ideals into something beneficial for the Commonwealth. But my question is, why? Taking over for Father, gross, as the leader of the Institute is like being the maid who gets the rich family's inheritance. They all hate you and will eventually plot against you so that they get what each of them feels like they're owed. I don't need Chris Evans stabbing me in the chest. Spoilers. Also, sad news, there is no dialogue option in the entire game where you can ground your son. So no matter how much of a shitter he's being, you basically have to deal with it. Or just do what I did.
I'll see you in hell, along with the rest of the Commonwealth.
Yet maybe you don't want the Game of Thrones atmosphere of the Institute and decide to join up with the Brotherhood of Steel. Oh my god, do I love the Brotherhood of Steel. They got a fancy blimp, sweet armor, and Liberty freaking Prime.
Mission: the destruction of any and all Chinese communists.
While I don't agree with the ideals or obvious racism, I do love the Brotherhood of Steel's quest lines, characters, and overall Liberty freaking Prime. I mean, sure, maybe their leader Arthur Maxson looks like a finance bro with a Napoleon complex, but the Brotherhood of Steel just offers so much more than any other faction in the game that if they aren't the faction you're choosing, you might be missing out. Because they truly offer the most entertainment in the entire game. Like the whole dance being a synth and the choice of either having to have Myson mend him or convince Maxson that he should stay alive literally ripped my heart out. And sure, you get power armor at the very start of the game, but think of that power armor as an abandoned 1999 Buick, and the power armor you get from the Brotherhood of Steel is a brand new 2024 Maserati. Like, yeah, I guess I would love a 2024 Maserati. And if none of that sells you on joining the Brotherhood of Steel, you also get a sweet jetpack. Oh, fuck. While exploring the wasteland that is the Commonwealth, you can find a few familiar places, one being Fenway Park, or as it's known in the game, Diamond City. God, John Henry's lack of spending is really taking a toll on this place, huh? Diamond City is the major location in the game, similar to Megaton from Fallout 3, minus the... The city not only plays a big part in the story through some of the major quest lines, spoilers, but also offers the player a place to trade, relax, and interactions like a history lesson on the great sport of baseball.
Swada, my friend, is a Diamond City tradition. See, it used to be that this whole place was a stadium, and two teams would meet and play a game called baseball. One team would beat the other team to death with these things called baseball bats, and the best bats were called swatters.
Look, dumbass, that's not how baseball was played.
That right, Mr. Smarty Pants?
You also have locations like Concord, where you get your first real taste of the wasteland. Fuck you, Preston Garvey, you piece of shit! Or places like Cambridge, which is home to the CIT ruins, the Institute. Or hell, head towards Salem and get yourself the most overpowered armor in the entire game at the Museum of Witchcraft. And maybe while you're at it, take a nice little Sunday stroll through Revere. Wait 1 second. Feel safe now. This is also the first game in the Fallout series that allows the protagonist to have any sort of voice acting, which at times can be a little funny, especially in the more harder-hitting moments.
Where is the missus, by the way?
She can't be dead. She can't be. I'm in a dream.
Sean does so love that game. Is the lad with you?
He's gone. God damn it. Someone took him. Someone stole my son.
It's worse than I thought.
Mods exist, which is fun and can be accessible through the game's creation club, allowing the player to do almost whatever you want with this game. DLCs are pretty fun, but that's a video for another day, mainly because we'd probably be here for an hour, and also
money!
RPG elements aren't nearly as there in comparison to other Fallout titles, and the game feels to certain degrees like another FPS title. But by doing that, I think it makes the game more playable to everyone, so you kind of win some, you lose some. Yet what doesn't get removed is the fact that the player character is the do-all protagonist. You know, the one that constantly helps the people of the wasteland and helps reestablish some level of society. Kind of like Jesus. Wait, if by helping the people of the wasteland because I have a good heart is something that Jesus would do, then if Jesus is Jesus and Deadpool is Marvel Jesus, then that must make me Wasteland Jesus. Bow down before me, peasants! Oh, does anyone else taste blood? On a scale of slamming a jam in, Fallout 4 is Dolly Parton's 9 to 5.